Hello, everyone, and welcome. The Inland Sports Internet Radio edition of Thursday Night High School Football is back. My name is Colin Holt. That's Tim Hatch. We're so excited to be back with you for the 2019 season. And game one on the slate for us is Norte Vista and Paloma Valley. Tim, how excited are you to finally be able to smell the fresh cut grass and start to hear some shoulder pads popping?
I'm so excited to welcome you back from the wilds of Wisconsin at the same time. It's great to see you, and I'm excited and ready to roll. We have two good football teams here and two quality Inland Empire schools ready to roll.
And this might be one of the top games on the week 0 schedule, to be honest. I mean, two very different divisions, but teams that play similarly and are at a very similar spot in their program journey.
Last year, the Paloma Valley Wildcats threw 34 passes the whole year, and Norte Vista threw 74 passes the whole year. So between the two, they averaged over 350 yards a game rushing. It's going to be a fun, quick game.
A little pooch kick to get things started. Emmanuel Rubio makes the catch on the fair catch, and Norte Vista will take over at their own 38-yard line as high school football is once again underway in the Inland Empire. And as always, Inland Sports is right there in the middle of things.
Well, we're going to be seeing a feature back here of all feature backs. Number one, Eddie Lane, as a freshman, ran for 1,550 yards and 23 touchdowns. So I'm assuming he's going to get a bulk of the carries today.
Well, and to say freshman sensation would be an understatement when it comes to Eddie Elaine. We've had so many good running backs. Freddie Hawley just go through the Norte Vista system, and Eddie Elaine just feels like the next one.
Absolutely. Going back to Cesar Murillo back in the early 2000s to the Malizios, and we're ready to roll.
First snap. They're going to give it to Elaine. Shocker there. Picks up 3 or 4 yards on the first carry of the Norte Vista season. And how fitting is it for a Norte Vista Braves team that has historically always hung their hat on how they run the ball to do a handoff on the first play of the 2019 season.
And he was brought down by the aptly named Anthony Stucker, who stuckered him in the hole there. Starting with the puns already.
So Danny Gonzalez. Well, it starts early with you, Tim Hatch. Doesn't skip a beat. Take the summer off, and we're right back to it. Danny Gonzalez, new quarterback for Norte Vista, going to give it to Elaine again. He finds a seam, picks up the first down. He's across midfield. Now into enemy territory at the Paloma Valley 49. And Eddie Elaine getting a bulk of the workload here early on.
And we're also going to see some holes being opened by the Legion of Doom, the offensive line of Norte Vista. Anthony Pinto, Ethan Bradley, Joel Quintana, Isai Perez, Adan Rodriguez, who weighs 290 pounds, number 68.
Tight set for Novi again. This time they pitch it to Elaine. He's running behind a wall, picks up 9 on a first down carry from the 49. Gets out near the 40-yard line. They'll spot him back at the 41, and so it will be 2nd and 2 for the Novi Braves.
And if you look on the defensive line there of Paloma Valley, number 55, Blake Poe, he's probably rich in talent, but his last name is Poe. Yes, we're starting already. 6'2", 285. That's going to be a great matchup to watch on the interior line.
Norte Vista spreading things out. Ken Batdorf kind of previewed what he called the aerial circus. Kind of saying Norte Vista might throw the ball a little bit. They pitch it back to Elaine. He is stood up right at that first down marker and driven back. Leading the charge is Dallas Salgado for Paloma Valley. That's a pickup of 1, and it will be 3rd and short for Norte Vista. And what a job by the Paloma Valley defense to kind of put a stop to what has been kind of a clinic in the first couple of plays for Norte Vista's offense.
Well, I think what Coach Batdorf tried to do there was spread things out and try and widen out the splits of the defensive linemen, but they weren't biting. They weren't fooled. He's going to have to throw a pass or two to loosen things up.
Again, a tight set for Norte Vista. Gonzalez under center. They motion a man back. They flip it to him. This will be Jesus Gonzalez picking up the first down as he tries to go off tackle to the left side of the offense. Picks up the first down with a gain of 3. Well, the Braves are in the red uniforms, the black helmets, the black shoulder pads. They are going left to right across your radio dial for Paloma Valley in the all-white road kits with the gray helmets. They'll be going right to left when they're on offense. And now a whistle for a 1st and 10 spotted at the 36-yard line of Paloma Valley. We'll see if maybe this is some sort of illegal formation. And it is just an issue with the clock, which currently reads 11:10. But Norte Vista going quickly here early on in the 2019 season.
If you look at Paloma Valley, there's stuff in the box. Their front four are all tight within the tackle-to-tackle spots, and then the safety is approximately 9 yards deep.
Well, and that's what Ken Batdorf said teams are starting to do against him, and I love how he said starting because teams have been doing that against him for years and years. A flip back to what is now Joseph Lucky. And really, there's kind of a three-headed monster for Norte Vista after the pickup of 5 there. Between Joseph Lucky, Jesus Gonzalez, and, of course, Eddie Elaine. So you've got all kinds of options. But, again, Ken Batdorf preseason said that this Norte Vista team was going to try to throw the ball a little bit more and keep teams honest. And I don't know if that was just misdirection and just kind of using the PR to his advantage because they haven't thrown the ball once on this drive. This will be 2nd and 4 now from the 30-yard line.
And nobody split.
Flip back, this will be
21.
Jesus Gonzalez off tackle again. He comes from the wing position, gets the pitch, picks up the first down, it looks as if he got it, and he did, all the way down to the 25-yard line. They'll move the chains. Everything resets for another 1st and 10.
For our listeners, it's a tight formation with one slot guy who motions, which is Eddie Lane.
Elaine takes it around the right side, looking for a seam, and he's brought down by a good individual effort by Anthony Stucker. And you got to appreciate the color schemes and uniform combinations for both these teams because you and I, Tim, have had some teams with numbers that are just a little bit difficult to see.
Oh, my gosh, through the years. Oh, wait, we have a penalty.
Got a holding penalty going to go against Norte Vista. So the 10-yard setback puts him at the 35. It will be 1st and 20 for the Braves.
But I like these good old-fashioned uniforms. Very easy to read, very easy to see.
Now, I heard a rumor that Norte Vista got new away uniforms. First time in a while that they've gotten new kits. This is Elaine who finds a hole on the right side, picks up 10 yards back to the original line of scrimmage marker before finally being brought down near his own sideline.
And Elaine, his style of running is kind of reminiscent of Eric Dickerson, kind of upright when he runs. He's a very tall, lanky guy when he runs, and he's very shifty. Some quick east-west moves, but nothing that goes backwards ever. Always going forward, running downhill.
So again, now they go I formation, a tight set near hash. It's 2nd and 10 from there. They pitch it back to Elaine, tripped up as a good pile was created by Paloma Valley's own Dominic Tienda. So it will be 3rd and 9.
Now we'll see. We'll see if that aerial circus opens up. Wait, I hear the music already. The air circus ready to roll.
Well, Ken Batdorf has always said 7-on-7 is just for his defense, but I think he started to experiment with some new offensive techniques when it came to 7-on-7 this summer. They will split one out wide. That'll be Christian Arado, who was their leading receiver last year. Snap is taken. They're going to roll that way and look to throw that way. It's a little out route. Arado wide open at the 10-yard line. Cuts up the sideline, gets to the 5, and there it is, the aerial circus. There's ring number 1 going, but there's a flag down in the backfield. So hold your horses for one moment. But that's exactly what I think Ken Batdorf is looking for. Maybe don't throw it every down like your Centennial or even Roosevelt, but just keep defenses honest. Unfortunately, you have a mistake in the backfield by your offensive line and almost put yourself in a situation where you kind of have to throw it here. This will be a solid 15-yard penalty.
So from a 20-yard gain to a 15-yard loss, could hurt him. We'll see. This, the backfield, they're veterans. They've been around a little bit. Linemen are veterans. We'll see if they can dig in and make something happen.
With 8:30 on the clock, this will be 3rd and 24. Back to pass. Airing it out. It is just out of the reach of Eddie Elaine on the pass from Danny Gonzalez, and now it's a 4th and a country mile for Norte Vista. And it looks like they may punt it here, but just a very, very good drive, very clinical, and it stalls at the end there. Just kind of not the wisest move, and kind of a young mistake from Norte Vista. And we heard Ken Batdorf say preseason that he wants his group of mostly juniors to play like they're seniors.
Mm-hmm. And who's back to punt? Eddie Elaine.
Elaine, the 5-tool athlete, is going to take the snap. He can't get the punt off in time. He's going to have to run it, and he is forced out of bounds around the 43-yard line. Getting there first for Paloma Valley.
So Paloma Valley stands. They do a nice job of with the help of the penalties and some individual efforts from Anthony Stucker, who right now is the leader of my favorite name of defenders for the year.
Well, now if you're Paloma Valley, you're in a real good spot to start your first offensive drive of the season. You take over at your own 39-yard line, 1st and 10. They're going to spread things out, 2 split out wide right. Ball on the near hash. Here's 1st and 10. They'll snap it to Blake Hauser. He gives it, and it's a good run up the middle on 1st down for Paloma Valley. It's a pickup of about 8 as they give the ball off to Cole Newton.
Now, last year, they had over 3,000 yards themselves from 2 players, a quarterback and a running back, and they both graduated. So it's a new backfield, a whole new start for Paloma Valley.
So again, they'll set up. This is 2nd and 3. It's a similar formation. This time they hand it off. Ball goes to Cody Cesaro. He is met in the backfield, spins out of 1 tackle, and falls down at the line of scrimmage to set up 3rd and 3.
Sorry. As I was watching looking at the stats from last year, I was hoping this game might last about an hour and 20 minutes, the way they passed last year.
Yeah, both these teams were just not keen on throwing the ball last year. Again, they go shotgun set. This time they will give it, and getting absolutely stuffed is number 33, Cole Newman.
And then 33, Gilbert Garcia, drove through the offensive line to just stand him up.
They're going to go for it on 4th down. Here it is 4th and 4 after a loss of 1 yard. 2 receivers to the near side and the short side of the field. Snap to Hauser. Will have to wait as he looks to the sideline for a new signal. Now both these teams run the ball, but they do it from very different looks. And now Paloma Valley will have to take a timeout early on, and you'll see this in week 0. Sometimes you really want to get a play in, and you just haven't been practicing it for that long. Your guy's just still a little unorganized. And at the last second, I think they wanted the hard count, maybe see if Norte Vista would come across and see how Norte Vista lined up. They didn't get the look they wanted, and so they are going to send the punt unit out here for a 4th and 4.
Well, the advantage of playing a week 0 game is they can take a break during the season right before league starts. And an example is Paloma Valley last year was 5-2 when they started their portion of their league schedule. In their league, they played Heritage, Rancho Verde, and Valley View in consecutive weeks, and lost all 3 of those, and ended up beating Cajon in the first round of the playoffs, which ended up in a loss too. So they ended up 5-6 last year.
So here's the 4th and 4. It'll be a punt. Nobody back deep for Norte Vista. Just going to let that ball drop in. Booted away by Joel Reyes. It'll drop in, bounces inbounds just beyond the 20-yard line. And Norte Vista will go to work at what the near side referee says is the 15.
So if I could say a quick thank you, quick shout out to Keala Hughes, the ASB director of Norte Vista, for giving us plenty of waters. And in the background, you hear the voice of Norte Vista, Tim Hively, who has been here forever, probably longer than the stadium was here, longer than the grass has been here. But you'll be hearing him in the background making calls.
So Norte Vista's offense goes back to work. Danny Gonzalez and the Braves looked really good on the offensive side of the ball right until their drive stalled in enemy territory. And so now Gonzalez will try to get back into that rhythm, gives it to Elaine. It's a straight handoff out of the I formation. And it's a 1-yard pickup for Elaine.
In on the tackle, Dominic Tienda, defensive lineman junior for Paloma Valley. Down stuffing up in the middle of the line. One of the things I could see them doing, though, they're diving low and trying to clog up the holes and not give Eddie any running room.
So it'll be 2nd and 9 for Norte Vista. Again, they go under center. This time they've got a receiver split out wide to the near side of the field. Christian Jurado is out to Gonzalez right. They're going to pitch it. It's Elaine who gets by one man and is brought down at the knees on a good diving tackle by Anthony Stucker once again.
I like the name, Colin. You know, we've had some good names in the past, but I think Stucker is a great name for a defender. And it looks like he's playing that linebacker position, or either that or a corner, but he comes flying up, and he's making some big hits so far.
Gets him out to the 20-yard line. Sets up a 3rd and 5 situation for the Norte Vista offense. Gonzalez under center again. This is a true I formation. 2 backs lined up directly behind him. They fake the pitch, and now it's the quarterback who will just keep it. Sneaking ahead, he dives across the 25-yard line to pick up the first down by about half a yard.
That's Norte Vista's 4th first down of this quarter. They're keeping that clock running, though. They got it moving. And on that last play, they actually had the safeties back off a little bit and the corners spread out with the receivers. So they're making them think about pass now. They did a good job with that in that first drive.
Down inside of 5 minutes to play, the clock at 4:45 as we are about to snap the 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line. Pitch to Elaine. He's got a hole right up the middle. Now he tries to cut it towards his own sideline. Picks up about 7 before being dragged down at the last second by Tyler Orta. Still looking for our first score in this one between Norte Vista and Paloma Valley.
Even though Norte Vista is running the ball on almost every play, there's still some variety showing in the formations and the sets they're showing us today.
So Norte Vista will huddle up. They run a very old school style offense. They huddle, they line up tight, and they just pound it down your throat as much as possible.
And nobody split.
Elaine gets the pitch, hurdles one defender. Now he's got some room. The first down after the 45-yard line. They move the chains, and the clock continues to run. Well, Norte Vista last year threw for 745 passing yards. Doesn't sound too shabby, but then when you compare it to the 4,231 rushing yards, that 745 sounds like not a whole lot.
It was enough to keep defenses honest, I believe. Their quarterback last year, Corey, was a great blocker. One of the best blocking quarterbacks we saw all last year.
This pitch will go back to Gonzalez. He goes right up the gut and picks up about 5 yards to the 50-yard line. Got to get to the 45 to get a first down. Clock now reads 3:20.
And to be a quarterback in the Norte Vista system, you have to be a good athlete. You have to be a strong blocker. And you have to be a leader that way. Because you got to sacrifice your body possession after possession, knowing that you're not getting the glory of dropping back and throwing 40 passes a game.
Again, they hand the ball off. This is Gonzalez, who weaves his way through a couple white jerseys, picks up the first down, and brings it down to the 43-yard line of Paloma Valley. 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. They'll snap it quickly. This is Gonzalez under center. He pitches it back to Elaine. Elaine cuts off the right tackle, gets inside the 38, and it will be 2nd and 6.
Now, typically when you hear no huddle or you think no huddle offense, you think of a passing team. Norte Vista does it with their running. They line up quickly, so defensively they're tired. They just subbed out 4 guys on the defensive line right now. They're subbing them in and out because they're wearing down because it's just constant pressure from the Legion of Doom, that offensive line in Norte Vista.
From the 39, it's 2nd down and 6 to go for Norte Vista. Gonzalez under center. He's got 2 backs lined up directly behind him with a receiver split out wide to the far side. They're going to hand it off to Elaine, the dot of the eye, and he spins out of 1 tackle before being swarmed and brought down after a pickup of 2.
And then if I could throw this in there too, tight end Carlos Maravilla for Norte Vista, a 6', 240-pound junior, is leading the way. So they'll line him up at tight end, and he goes into motion and then lead blocks all the way through. So you've got, beyond the offensive line, there's another guy leading the way in the whole clearing space.
It is 3rd and 4 from the Paloma Valley 37. Minute and a half remaining in this first quarter. Still no score between the Braves and the Wildcats. Danny Gonzalez under center. Eddie Elaine behind him. 2 receivers. Now they motion the slot man in. Going to give it to Elaine. He tries to go up the middle. Nothing doing, so he cuts outside. He's in first down territory as he crosses the 30 before finally being dragged down.
First down after first down, marching forward like a conquering army here. Paloma's going to have to make a stand on the defensive line. They have to keep it honest, though. They have to split the backs because of that. The pass attempts that Norte Vista was good on, even though there was a penalty. But now Paloma's got to come up with an answer here to change the pace up a little bit.
Here's 1st and 10 as they spot the ball at the 27. And now a whistle with 49 seconds left in the first quarter. Paloma Valley will take a timeout. And you have to remember, Norte Vista is playing in Division 10. Paloma Valley is playing in Division 4, and yet the Braves are having their way on the offensive side of the football.
With 49 seconds left in the quarter, Norte Vista has had the ball all but 2 minutes this quarter. And that was a stalled drive with a 4 and out for Paloma Valley. So we haven't talked much about Norte Vista's defense because we haven't seen them very much yet as we got going here. But that's a good unit too, a strong unit led by Dustin Jameson, Jesse Carvajal, C.J. Richardson. We'll see some of them as we get going in next time Paloma gets the ball. But defensively right now, this timeout was called to kind of settle things a little bit. Novi wants to make sure that they don't stall this drive out with some silly penalties. At the same time, Paloma has to take a deep breath and reestablish some beef along that offensive line, or excuse me, defensive line.
Well, Norte Vista has only had 2 possessions. This is their second one. And Paloma Valley has only had 1 as they line up out of the timeout. 1st and 10 from the Paloma Valley 27. 49 seconds remain in the first quarter. Danny Gonzalez will take the snap, pitch it back to Elaine. He's got a seam. He breaks out of 1 tackle, and now a flag is thrown as he pushes his way across the first down yardage and gets down to the 15-yard line.
On this last play, he actually stumbled a little bit coming out, and he regained his footing and pushed forward. But let's see who that penalty is on. They are marching it back against Norte Vista.
That flag was thrown right in the heat of the pile. So you got to think it was holding on the Norte Vista offensive line.
3rd penalty they've had, and this one is going to hurt him again, even though it's still first down. This would be all 3 penalties were as they we're heading to the red zone to finish off drives.
1st and 20, early season mistakes hurting the Braves early. Here is Eddie Elaine. He slips up the middle, and he picks up a good chunk of that lost yardage as he gets all the way down to the 20-yard line to set up 2nd and 3rd, so it's almost no problem for Norte Vista.
And he's just so smooth when he runs out there.
Just 15 seconds left in the first quarter. We'll see if they get a playoff here, and it looks like they're going to. Danny Gonzalez will get under center per usual. From the near hash at the 20-yard line, just 3 yards to go to get a first down. 5 seconds to play. It's just a QB sneak up the middle. And Danny Gonzalez, after handing it off, to the fullback, will get the first down to the 16-yard line. And with that, we head to the second quarter.
Roberto Rodriguez, a 200-pound fullback, had that carry. And now, let's look back at that quarter. Norte Vista putting on an offensive clinic right now.
Absolutely, and our field level eyes, Jeff Gorham, will have a little bit more about the Norte Vista offense. Jeff?
Yeah, I talked to Coach Batdorf today, and he's entering his 26th year here at Norte Vista. And I talked to him a little bit about this year's team offensively, and he had talked about an aerial circus, during his scrimmage. But he decided, he said, hey, I think our playbook was too big the last week. So he decided to shrink the playbook, work on their timing here in the first quarter. He said they're going to still play smash mouth football. But we saw in that first series, the young quarterback threw the ball pretty well. So we could see more of that tonight versus this very good Paloma Valley team, which I think is doing fairly well on defense. But the young Eddie Elaine, the great running back, if he gets going and gets a breakaway, it could be a very quick night.
Awesome job, Jeff. Yeah, we've been looking for that aerial circus and still haven't seen it quite yet in this matchup, but it's been all Eddie Elaine, and he's been getting the job done just fine as they simplified the playbook, just like he said.
And I have to say, Jeff's looking good today in his beach shorts and his 3/4 sleeve shirt, showing off his new physique.
Eddie Elaine, right down the gut, leaps in the air, is hit midair and brought down, but not till after he gets to the 5-yard line. The ball on the far hash, and now Norte Vista on the doorstep of getting the first score of this one. No score as we go into the second quarter. It will be 1st and goal from the 5-yard line for the Norte Vista offense.
And Eddie Elaine runs so effortlessly and smoothly. He takes some big hits.
Gonzalez takes the snap, pitch to Elaine again. He's looking for room, not going to find it as he stood up and brought down right behind the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Tyler Orta and Ethan Ochoa in on that tackle, leading the charge on the defense, who's stiffened up here. They got to make a stand here, but we'll see how that young Norte Vista line works in this short field in the red zone with 5 yards to go.
Again, 2nd and goal. Far hash one more time. They go bunch set. Everybody in the box for both teams here. Going to give it to Elaine. They try to go off tackle. He cuts it back. He's at the goal line. He's hit and he's in. And it's the first touchdown of the season for Norte Vista. Comes with 10:41 to play in the 2nd quarter. And it's 6-0 in favor of the Braves on the touchdown by Eddie Elaine.
With 10 minutes and 41 seconds to go in the quarter, I have unofficially have Eddie Elaine with 85 yards on 18 carries.
He's on pace for a 300-yard night. The extra point is up, and the extra point is on target as Fernando Salcedo puts it through the uprights, and it is 7-0 Braves as Paloma Valley will now get just their 2nd opportunity on offense as we are here in the 2nd quarter.
All right, so now let's see this young Paloma Valley offense. They need to step it up a little bit and match what just happened. A very, very impressive drive. 1 penalty in the red zone, but they overcame it because it was a first down. And when you have Eddie Elaine, you can overcome a lot of different things.
Makes up for a lot of faults. That Eddie Elaine.
And I can picture him in the huddle saying, no sweat, guys. Don't worry about it. Don't panic. You made a mistake. Let's roll.
Novi will kick off right to left. Paloma Valley will see their offense for the 2nd time. As back deep to return it will be Tyler Ota. And Salcedo will kick it away after making the extra point.
And we have a pretty good crowd tonight for a season opener, week 0 game. Norte Vista fans coming out en masse.
Little pooch kick going to get to the 3rd level. It is fielded, and this will be Newton taking it to the middle of the field and being brought down to the 29-yard line. That's where Paloma Valley and first-year quarterback Blake Hauser will go to work. Did you know that Hauser in the freshman and JV ranks only lost 1 game with his Paloma Valley teams?
That's impressive. And, you know, as a quarterback, you want to lead. He's got to be a leader. Even though he's a young guy, he's got to step up, even if he has veteran linemen, and he's got to let them know that it's his huddle. He has to command that and show a presence.
So Hauser from the shotgun. They run the ball a lot, pretty much as Norte Vista does, but they do it from a much more open set with a lot more misdirection. They hand it off to the back, standing to the left of Hauser. And the carry up the middle by Johnny Mendoza. Picks up a good 6 yards.
Joseph Lucky, a 190-pound cornerback, came up and made that tackle. And he wasn't very lucky. He did his work early.
Again, Tim Hatch will be here all night, folks. This is a pass attempt for Paloma Valley as being brought down in the backfield is Hauser. And getting credited with the sack here is going to be Tony Valdez.
And this defense for Norte Vista, we need to talk about them a little bit, even though we haven't had a chance to see. I remember last year I had them twice, and they were an impressive group. Quick to the ball, 10 hats flying to the ball, aggressive, and hard hitting.
So backed up all the way to make it 3rd and 13. It's a little fake rollout. They give it on the counter, and carrying it is Mendoza. Picks up just a couple yards. 4th and 11, and Paloma Valley's 2nd stint on offense does not last long as they will punt this one away.
So last year I had Norte Vista's game to get in the playoffs. They were going against Ramona, and 4th and 10 from their own 10-yard line. Coach Batdorf went for it. I'm sorry, 4th and 4 from their own 10-yard line. Coach Batdorf went for it, handed the ball to Elaine, and they got the first down. And the rest was history. They made the playoffs, and ended up losing in the 2nd round in a close game to Brea Linda. But he has a lot of confidence in his defense, too.
Again, nobody back for Norte Vista. That's traditional Brave football. So Paloma Valley will surround the ball, let it bounce to the 32, and Eddie Elaine and company will go back to work.
So here we go again. Now, let's see if the offense can keep that same momentum going with the diversity that they showed on the last one. Just getting the ball to a lane from different sets and different looks, so that the defense can't tee off and they can't load up with the safety 9 yards away.
8:40 on the clock to play here in the first half. Gonzalez under center. He's got a receiver split out wide to the right side of his offense. He flips it back to Elaine, looks for a crease and finds one. Picks up 5 yards on a first down carry.
And they just keep coming at you. And their linemen are big guys, and they're getting Eddie's not getting hit until he's about 4 or 5 yards upfield. There's not getting a helmet not getting put on him. But great job by the offensive line.
Novi leads by a touchdown, 7-0 here in the second quarter. Clock ticking down now to 8 minutes to play in the first half. Gonzalez motions a man across behind him. And now he snaps the ball. Again, the pitch is to Elaine. He picks up the first down, just barely getting it to the 42-yard line, his own 42 that is, and moving the chains once again.
Again, unofficially, by my count, that's the 10th first down for the Norte Vista offense this quarter.
I believe the term they use to describe that is ahead of the chains. And Norte Vista, despite some penalties, they could kind of hurt them early. They really have stayed ahead of the chains for most of the game, and that's why they're up 7-0 right now. This time they flip it to the second back, who has a crease up the sideline, and stepping out of bounds is Jesus Gonzalez. They mark him out at the Paloma Valley 41, but it's good enough for another Norte Vista first down.
They just keep coming at you from different looks. He's a good-looking runner, too. Jesus Gonzalez, 190-pound junior. And you would think, being a back in the Norte Vista system, that you're going to be Eddie Elaine heavy. They're still spreading it around.
Again, they go Gonzalez. He bursts for a good 8 yards on a first down carry. Gets it down to the 34-yard line of Paloma Valley as they'll make some defensive substitutions, starting to get backed up against their end zone.
And you can see the fatigue on the Paloma Valley defense. And it's just, again, it's tough having that line for Norte Vista just pounding you play after play after play.
So here's a 2nd and 2 snap. Again, a tight formation for Norte Vista. They motion it back behind Gonzalez. And it is Jesus Gonzalez who gets the ball and picks up the first down with a carry. Down to the 29-yard line, moves the ball to the near hash for Norte Vista. 6:47 to play in the first half. It's a fresh set of downs for Novi as they lead by a touchdown. This time the pitch is to Elaine. He's got blockers in front of him. He finds the seam, gets down to the 20-yard line, a yard shy of picking up the first down, and it will be 2nd and 1 for Norte Vista.
And he just went over 100 yards.
With 6:20 to play in the first half, Eddie Elaine crosses the century mark.
Unofficially.
I'm watching you keep score. It looks official. Is that enough for us to call it official?
Yes.
I like it.
Hatch official.
I like it. 2nd and 1. Elaine again. That's good enough for the first down. Deep into Paloma Valley territory we go as they spot the ball at the Wildcat 14.
And you know, I'm watching that Paloma Valley defense, and they had pep in their step as we got going. And now you look at them, and you got hands on hips. You got some chins to the chest. You got them just that energy and electricity is kind of gone from just the bludgeoning they're taking from the offensive line.
Gonzalez, the snap to Jesus, hit hard after picking up a yard, and that's what Norte Vista has traditionally done to opponents. They may not be leading by a whole lot. It's just 7-0, but it feels like such a bigger deficit than 7-0 against a lot of different teams simply because you're not going to get too many opportunities with the ball in your hand.
So right now, Paloma Valley had the ball last possession for 1.5 minutes, so they've had the ball for 3.5 minutes in 2 possessions. And that's going to put pressure on a young quarterback, too.
This is 2nd and 7 from the 10-yard line. They pitch it out wide to Elaine, and there's a flag early, going to be holding as they try to go with the sweep. Brought down out of bounds as Elaine anyway, maybe picked up a yard on the play. but the holding will push Norte Vista back. And once again, they're within the red zone. They're in scoring range, and they commit another costly penalty.
That'll be the fourth one they've had in the red zone. And this one, the offensive tackle on that side couldn't get his head in front of the defender. His head was behind him and leading him to hold, and which sprung Eddie Lane on the outside.
So they're going to move Norte Vista all the way back. Set the ball down now at the 26-yard line. It's a block in the back penalty. Second and real long. Got to get all the way down to the 4-yard line for a first down. Block in the back is a spot foul, which is why they put it back at the 26.
Now, not to harp on a continuous subject here, but most teams would throw a couple short passes and try and make up distance here in a couple plays.
And there it is, the screenplay as they give the ball out to Buddy Wilson Jr. He is gobbled up immediately, and good closing speed from Dallas Salgado.
And there's our aerial circus setting up.
So 3rd and 22 for Norte Vista. Good chance to find out possibly how good of a leg the kicker Fernando Salcedo has if they don't convert on this 3rd down.
You would not believe that is the exact thought I just had right when you said it. Exactly.
Tim, we had a little time away from each other, but we're in sync right away. Elaine is going to get back a good chunk of yardage, but not enough for a first down. They'll spot the ball at the 16 on the run off the left tackle by Elaine. And we'll see what Ken Batdorf decides to do here. Looks like they're going to leave the offense out there. I'm thinking aerial circus time, but that's just me.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised. Well, we have one guy split.
They're going to send Isaac Gaines out there. Wide right, and now the flag is thrown. This one going to be signaled against Paloma Valley. They got him to jump, and they bought themselves just a little extra room to work here. At the 11, and that'll set up 4th and 7.
I think that totally changes the play call, what we were about to see. I had a feeling they had an ISO set up out there for the wide receiver, and let's see if he comes back to it.
They send Gaines out there again. Gonzalez under center. Novi comes set. The hard count gets Paloma Valley again. Brings up 4th and 2. How about Norte Vista staying disciplined and getting what they want? And now they're going to say false start against Norte Vista.
That's huge.
But you saw Paloma Valley jump, but the referees are going to say that Norte Vista drew them off sides, which is illegal. And now that hurts the Braves. Timeout called with 3:09 to play here in the 2nd quarter. If nothing else, though, Norte Vista, when they get to the sideline after these offensive drives, they've got to at least consider it somewhat a win simply because they took the air out of the ball and kept the other offense off the field. And they've done that for years.
Absolutely. And when you look at halftime, I know it's game 1. Coach Batdorf will get on them about the penalties. But like you just said, the positive side is with 3 minutes to go in the half, if they can continue this along, Paloma's going to have less than 5 minutes of possession the whole first half.
Well, Norte Vista's defense is so good, but they don't see the field a whole lot when Norte Vista is doing their thing on offense.
Now, let's just put it this way then. So that means they'll be primed and ready for the second half. They'll be rested, ready, tanned, rested, and ready.
So the Novi offense goes back out there. They're still not thinking about kicking it. This will be 4th and 12.
And I'm going to say this is not an indictment on the kicker or like a disrespect to the kicker they have. I think this is Coach Batdorf paying homage to his offense.
They're going to throw it. Aerial circus. Gonzalez completes it, and it's short of the first down. Paloma Valley's defense is able to hold up on 4th down. The tackle spots the Paloma Valley offense at their own 8-yard line. With 3:02 on the clock here in the first half.
So that was another 6-minute drive by the Braves.
Again, Norte Vista just sitting on the football.
Now, here we go. Young Hauser with the mantle of leadership thrust on him here. Deep in the territory here.
Ball on the far hash now for Paloma Valley. They'll hand it off. It's a short pickup of just a few yards as they give it off to what looks like Cole Newton. Second and 5, they're going to air it out. Hauser up the far sideline. That one is a wrestle for the ball, and Paloma Valley completes it. Jared Garcia rips it away from the defender along the sideline. He comes up with it. There's a flag down. If it's a defensive penalty, they won't say anything. The Zebras will meet for a moment. Paloma Valley wants to go quickly. The chains are stationary while they wait for the call. Now they'll set the ball and go. It was a defensive penalty. It's declined. And now the Wildcats are ready to rock and roll. Chains are way behind now as they have to hustle up. Hauser snaps the ball. Looks like Novi might have moved early. As there's another whistle and another piece of laundry on the field, it is a false start on the Wildcats. Boy, sometimes when you want to go quickly, especially in week 0, your guys might not be completely locked in.
And that's where the quarterback has to take a look around and double check and, view the line both ways and make sure everybody is set, locked in, and ready to roll. And he's probably pumped up and excited about that completion himself.
First and 15 from the 42. You got to feel like that's what Paloma Valley needed. Just a little something to get excited about. 2:15 to go in the first half. Hauser will throw again. He's in trouble. Now he tucks it and runs far sideline. Just enough to get back to the first set of sticks. Picks up 5 yards, and it should be 2nd and 10 depending on the spot, and it is. Went down inbound, so the clock continues to run inside of 2 minutes. Believe Paloma Valley still has a timeout or two in their back pocket. Hauser takes the snap from the shotgun. He's got a little time. He moves up in the pocket. Now he'll run it again towards the sideline. And again, he fails to get out of bounds, but he picks up 9. Clock still runs down to 1:30.
I think that shows some youth and inexperience there. He had a chance to not get hit, get out of bounds and stop the clock, but he chose to take a hit and stay in bounds.
3rd and 2 now from the Norte Vista 45. One-handed catch on the snap by Hauser. They hand it off. Room enough to get the first down. The clock will stop for them to move the chains. Strong carry there by Mendoza. First down yardage. Clock runs now as the chains are set. Hauser back to pass. He gets protection. Again goes left side. And again it's hauled in. Jared Garcia. That's twice now that he has had blanket coverage and still come up with the football. Clock stop once again for the chains. 1:07. Hauser to Garcia. A potent connection.
Looks like they've developed some chemistry in the early part of the season here. Garcia is a very talented receiver. He went up and got that one.
Hand off.
Newton.
This time it goes to Cole Newton. And the clock runs down towards 45 seconds as they make substitutions on the Paloma Valley side. And a timeout is called. As now Norte Vista wants to talk things over with 41 ticks left in the first half.
So now looking back at this, it's Paloma Valley. If they can get anything out of this, even if they don't score, they can go in at halftime and say, look, we're okay now. We established something. We got it rolling. They sped things up a little bit. They had 3 first downs on this drive, and they had none the rest of the first half.
Well, tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. Visit their new location off the 91 freeway at Arlington. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. 2nd and 10 for Paloma Valley. They will take over at the Norte Vista 17. Down 7-0 with less than a minute to play in the first half.
And Hauser's showing a little more confidence now, a little more steady in the pocket early on. Maybe some nerves with that first game and a tough Norte Vista defense flying at him.
Here's the 2nd and 10 out of the timeout. Hauser will look to pass again. He feels the pressure from his left, steps up into it, delivers a strike to Garcia. It's complete. Touchdown, Wildcats.
Hauser showing patience.
With 34 seconds to play in the second quarter, Paloma Valley pulls within 1, and they're an extra point away from making it a brand new football game. Well, we talked about how Paloma Valley didn't have much time with the football. I think Hauser just showed us they don't need much time with the football.
That was an impressive drive. Now, well, we'll see. Norte Vista back in a little bit of a prevent defense early and then came back up into regular man coverage down the stretch. But in that time, Hauser to Garcia ended up being a very potent duo.
Got to get the 11th man on here for the extra point for Paloma Valley. It is up, and it is good, and we are tied here on the Inland Sports YouTube channel and on the Inland Sports Twitter page. 34 seconds to play in the first half. We'll see what Norte Vista decides to do, but a clean slate for both sides after the touchdown strike from Hauser to Garcia.
And he picked up about 65 yards passing in those passes, but every one of them to Garcia on the left side. So Norte Vista's going to have to make an adjustment. They were in man coverage, and obviously whoever they had set up to cover him, Garcia was manhandling him a little bit, and especially in that one long pass where he wrestled the ball out for that first down.
So Novi will have 3 deep players set up around their own 10-yard line. Kickoff will come from the far hash. Paloma Valley will kick it left to right. Again, they pooch kick it to the second level. Fair catch is muffed on the ground. There's a pile. We'll see once the referees start peeling guys off who they give the ball to. Paloma Valley comes away with it, but a flag flies. And it looks like the Wildcats are going to get the football.
And that is one of the reasons that you do kick that pooch kick, because you get the ball into hands of receivers who are not accustomed to the ball being in their hands.
Emmanuel Rubio had to go in and out of his hands. And Paloma Valley is going to get the football here with 30 seconds to play. They'll take over on the Norte Vista half of the football field, plus the penalty, which makes things very interesting towards the end of the first half. Paloma Valley just now tied things up in a game that was completely dominated by Norte Vista until just a few moments ago. And now the Paloma Valley offense will go to work at the Norte Vista 23.
I think that was a little bit of a frustration penalty and a lack of discipline. Somebody did something, said something, maybe a late hit, but it was an unsportsmanlike penalty.
And initially the referees had signaled the football would go to Paloma Valley, but it looks like even with the penalty to Norte Vista, they're going to get the ball. They hustle the offense out there. And now Eddie Elaine with some room to run. He's brought down inbounds, which keeps the clock running. But on Paloma Valley's side, completely thought that was going to be their ball as well.
Wow, I was confused there. I apologize. I thought they were getting the ball back.
First and 10 from their own 39-yard line. Norte Vista goes to work. So a complete change of momentum as that slows things down. Eddie Elaine will get the ball again. Clock ticking down to 5 seconds. I doubt Norte Vista will snap it again. They're going to call timeout here. So they are going to try to make the most out of their last few seconds in the first half. Ken Batdorf is fired up about something, wants to make sure his offensive line is on the same page here. 5.7 on the clock. 7-7 on the scoreboard as we are nearing halftime.
Now, at halftime, I was thinking initially that with the 7-0 lead, Coach Batdorf can go in and calmly explain to his team that the penalties were not very intelligent moves at that time. But now, with the tie score, we might see some paint blistering off the walls at halftime.
Yeah, because you realize now just how big those penalties were, because it left some points on the table that really could have been capitalized on by Norte Vista. So here comes 2nd and 7. From the 42. They're going to air it out. Everybody going deep. It's a Hail Mary to end the first half. That should be a pass interference call, but it won't matter because that's the end of the first half. 7-7. Norte Vista dominates the first quarter and a majority of the second quarter. Paloma Valley comes storming back with a late drive. A touchdown strike from Hauser to Garcia does it as they tie things up 7-7.
So I have unofficially or hatch-officially Elaine for 25 carries for 146 yards, which still keeps him on pace for a 300-yard game. But Hauser comes up throwing for 65 yards in the one drive. And you got to think maybe Norte Vista's defense got a little complacent, thinking that Paloma Valley was just going to eat the ball or maybe throw deep. But Hauser had a couple nice runs, took some hits, but they showed it's a 7-7 game. So right now it's anybody's game.
Well, Norte Vista had the ball for most of the first half, and yet at halftime the score remains level. Jeff Gorham is on the field for Inland Sports Radio. Jeff?
Yeah, it was a pretty even first half there. In fact, Norte Vista looked like they were going to take over. They were running the ball well, but Coach Tello at Paloma Valley made some big-time adjustments, and they threw the ball, as you saw, to that receiver who was open 3 times down the field. Coach Batdorf not too happy with the end of that first half. But as any great coach will do, they're going to make adjustments, and I expect nobody to come out running the football, trying to tire out that defensive line of Paloma Valley.
Well, and Jeff, you've seen a lot of Norte Vista football, and we talked a little bit about that aerial circus, but how close was that first half to the Novi football that has been so successful over the years?
Well, it's just, when you have a great offensive line, and I got Pep over here yelling. No, but honestly, when you have a great offensive line and you have great running backs, you got to think of the guys that they've had. They've had Eddie Martinez, who was the CIF Player of the Year, was replaced by Freddie Holly, and now you got Eddie Elaine. If they can continue to run the ball, play smash mouth football, keep their playbook to a very bare minimal, don't try to overdo it, don't try to throw, play with what your best play is, which is smash mouth football. Ken Batdorf has got to be happy with his offense, but his defense, which has been great the past 4 or 5 years, that secondary is going to be tested once again by Paloma Valley.
Awesome stuff as always, Jeff. At halftime, the score is 7-7. Norte Vista and Paloma Valley going at it here from KR Zach Erb Stadium. And Tim, Norte Vista doing what they've done best for the 26 years that Ken Batdorf has been at the helm.
So in that half, Norte Vista ran 43 offensive plays. Paloma Valley ran 13 offensive plays. And if we look at the numbers, just the stats, as you will, dominant performance by Norte Vista. But unfortunately, if you look at the scoreboard where it really counts, we have a 7-7 game.
Well, don't forget tonight's game is also brought to you by Ken's Sporting Goods in Norco, which has been serving the Inland Empire since 1976. Visit Ken's Sporting Goods for your team uniforms and all your sports gear, maybe even polos. Boost Performance Training in Corona with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports go to Boost Performance Training. Tim Hatch goes there at least 3 times a week, I believe.
Absolutely.
Ask about their private lessons as well. Mike's Fitness Equipment in Riverside. Visit their new location off 115 West Lacademia Drive, and you can get all of the leaders' gym equipment for your home, school, or work at Mike's Fitness Equipment. JoJo's Grill-A-Dog in Redlands. Not all dogs are created equal. Taste the difference at JoJo's Grill-A-Dog in the Mountain Grove Shopping Center. And don't forget to call Stan, the policy man, Hopkins at 951-880-8998 with Lumens Insurance Services, 8175 Limonite Ave in Riverside, California. Home, auto, business, workers' comp, restaurants,
He's
you
my
name
agent. I go through Stan, the policy man.
Stan, the policy man, Hopkins. On Inland Sports Radio, where it is 7-7, Norte Vista and Paloma Valley in a colossal battle. It's just week 0. If this is any indication of how the season is going to go, you're going to want to stick around every Thursday night with Inland Sports. I'm Cullen Holt. That's Tim Hatch. We're going to step aside for a moment, and when we come back, we'll have more football for you on the Inland Sports YouTube channel.
I cried for help, you would never come like you tripped and fell. For so long I tried to cut you off, cause I thought I was better off with you gone. But the more time I spent alone, the more I longed for you to call my phone. But you weren't into that, said I wasn't worth your time, it hurt so bad. I was forced to accept that though, and never thought I'd care again, oh no. So here I am in the hospital, holding your hand before you go. I know it's the worst thing I've ever felt, but still I wonder if I should be crying, no. Even though we weren't the best, we tried, whoa. I wonder if you're looking down on me, but tonight I'll just enjoy the ride. Without you, life can be something, but I'll pretend like it's not so exhausting, and just enjoy the ride. Whoa, one last time, one last time. One last time, take a trip down memory lane. I look at the knowledge that you helped me gain, indirectly by neglecting me. For some reason I am glad I felt that pain. Now I know what not to do. To someone you love, and that's the sharpest tool anyone has given me. But I just wish that we got along while you were here. Now I can see you at my wedding, until my first child is standing. I'll take care of you when you get old. Just think about it, come and make my legs fold. But it's all good to keep fixing. Got that connection we've been missing. Guess we got that before you went home. Now I can look up and I'm still alone. Even though we weren't the best, we tried. Whoa. I wonder if you're looking down on me, but tonight I'll just enjoy the ride, and love myself tonight. Whoa, without you, life can be done strange, but I'll pretend like it's not so exhausting, and just enjoy the ride. Whoa, one last time. Cried for help, you would never come like you tripped and fell. For so long I tried to cut you off, cause I thought I was better off with you gone. But the more time I spent alone, the more I longed for you to call my phone. But you weren't into that, said I wasn't worth your time, it hurt so bad. I was forced to accept that though, and never thought I'd care again, oh no. So here I am in the hospital, holding your hand before you go. I know it's the worst thing I've ever felt, but still I wonder if I should be crying, no. Even though we weren't the best, we tried, whoa. I wonder if you're looking down on me, life can be sunscreen, but I'll pretend like it's not so exhausting, and just enjoy the ride. Whoa, one last time, one last time, one last time. Take a trip down memory lane. I look at the knowledge that you helped me gain, indirectly by neglecting me. For some reason I am glad I felt that pain. Now I know what not to do. Do someone you love and that's the sharpest tool anyone has given me, but I just wish that we got along while you were here. Now I can see you at my wedding, until my first child is standing. I'll take care of you when you get old. Just think about it, come and make my legs fold. But it's all good to keep fixing. Got that connection we've been missing. Guess we got that before you went home. Now I can look up and I'm still alone. Even though we weren't the best, we tried. Whoa. I wonder if you're looking down on me. But tonight, I'll just enjoy the ride. And love myself tonight. Without you, life can be sunscreen, but I'll pretend like it's not so exhausting, and just enjoy the ride. Whoa, one last time. I cried for help, you would never come like you tripped and fell. For so long I tried to cut you off, cause I thought I was better off with you gone. But the more time I spent alone, the more I longed for you to call my phone. But you weren't into that, said I wasn't worth your time, it hurt so bad. I was going to accept that though, and never thought I'd care again, oh no. So here I am in the hospital, holding your hand before you go. I know it's the worst thing I've ever felt, but still I wonder if I should be crying, no. Even though we weren't the best, we tried. Whoa. I wonder if you're looking down on me, but tonight I'll just enjoy the ride. Without you, life can be sunscreen, but I'll pretend like it's not so exhausting, and just enjoy the ride. Whoa, one last time, one last time. One last time, take a trip down memory lane. I look at the knowledge that you helped me gain, indirectly by neglecting me.
As we welcome you back to KR Zach Erb Stadium, home of the Norte Vista Braves. We got Braves, we got Wildcats, and we got a 7-7 game going into the second half. Colin Holt, Tim Hatch alongside for this one. Novi dominated for most of that first half, but Paloma Valley came storming back to tie things up right before halftime.
Blake Hauser, we said the young man had to step up, and he did on the last drive, accounting for all 83 yards of the drive. 14 yards rushing, 69 yards passing, all of the passing yards to his favorite receiver, obviously, Jared Garcia, for the touchdown. And then we flip it, Eddie Lane, 25 carries, 146 Hatch yards. That's my official count, and a touchdown. So you had 43 offensive plays run to 13 offensive plays run. You had 6 yards per carry on the average for Norte Vista. Dominant drives with 13 first downs to 3 first downs for Paloma Valley. And if you look at the numbers, just generally look at the numbers, you're thinking this is a blowout. This is a one-sided game. But the only numbers that count are under the lights there and the light bulbs, 7-7.
Yeah, and Paloma Valley only got 3 cracks at the offensive side of things. And the first 2 didn't go too well, but the third one, they finally hit a rhythm. And in the first game of the season, that's not actually too shabby. Getting going in just 3 drives.
And that was a 2.5-minute drive that left 30 seconds on the clock for Novi, but there's still roughly about 5.5 minutes of offensive possession the whole half, but we're still a 7-7 game. It was a very impressive drive, too.
Well, Norte Vista in the all-red uniforms with the black helmets and the black trim. Paloma Valley in the all-whites. They've got the gray helmets.
And the contrasting colors looking good. Maybe those uniforms are by Ken's.
Quite possible. Ken Sporting Goods been doing it since 1976. They supply almost all the local teams with their uniforms, keep them looking fresh.
And we'll be getting some fresh-looking polos from there soon, Cullen.
Will we really?
Yes, we will.
It's exciting stuff right there.
I'm looking at bright orange.
Bright orange. Everyone will be able to find us.
Inland Sports colors.
So when I'm walking around in the field before the game looking for you, I don't have to just be yelling Hatch all the time, because you're not going to answer your phone. You don't answer your phone all the time. So sometimes got to yell at you. Well, I just learned today you just figured out how to use emojis.
That's right.
So
yes.
we're taking steps forward.
Absolutely. It's new world, new technology. I now have a Samsung 10, where I had a Samsung 5 before. I didn't know how to use it, and the battery would burn my leg when people called me. So that's another reason I didn't answer calls.
Meanwhile, Ken Batdorf has been running this offense since we were still using flip phones.
26 years. He was before the turn of the century.
They put 12 minutes on. We got 24 to play. And the kickoff gets the second half underway. It's fielded near the sideline. Stepping out of bounds is the recipient of that kickoff. It's like Christian Bustamante.
That is a lack of field awareness there.
Either way, Paloma Valley will take over 1st and 10 from their own 19-yard line as they go to work against this Norte Vista defense.
Now let's see if they can keep that momentum going. And you got to think, as a young quarterback, Hauser, his first start, I'm going to assume, last year was a senior quarterback who started all their games, he's gone now. And so here we go. He's got that pep in his step, some confidence led, by that great drive they had to finish the quarter, or the half, I should say.
Yeah, you lose Mason Carvalho, who was your go-to guy last season if you're Paloma Valley, as they give the ball here to gives up 2nd and 10 for Paloma Valley. 11:43 to play.
Now let's see, also at halftime, I got a feeling that Coach Batdorf talked to his defense and instructed them quite nicely to step up and start making hits.
Going to get the play in from the sideline. No gain on the first down. Little play action. Throw it off towards the left sideline. Flag flies as it's complete to Garcia from Hauser. Out near the first down, but we got to wait to see what the penalty marker is all about. And it looks like it's illegal formation. And it looks like a legal man downfield, an eligible man downfield. And that's a costly penalty. Should be 5 yards. Replay of the down as they walk it out.
Norte Vista needs to make an adjustment to cover Garcia out there, because right now every pass that Hauser's completed is to Garcia, and it looks like he's looking exclusively at him, literally, on every pass play.
So 2nd and 15. 2 receivers split to the near side. Ball put dead center of the field. 1 Wildcat split out wide to the left. Hauser in the shotgun. He's got a wing back in front of him. Drops back to pass, steps up in the pocket, finds a little room to run. He will tuck it and pick up a yard or 2 before being spun to the ground just shy of the 20-yard line. Brings up 3rd and 11 from the 19.
On that last play, Norte Vista defensive coordinator did a nice job. He rolled the cornerback up on number 12 in man press coverage. He's got a safety back, so they're double covering him now on routes on Garcia.
Stepping up and airing it out to a wide open receiver is Hauser, up the sideline into Norte Vista territory and dragged down from behind at the 32. It certainly looks like Mendoza. Either way, the pass complete. They're at the Norte Vista 31-yard line. It was in the vicinity of Garcia, but it wasn't Garcia as they moved a man over to make that one. This time they hand it off. That's Mendoza running to his right. He is gobbled up in the backfield and taken down for a loss of 4. Back to the 35-yard line they go.
Well, whoever it was, they rolled on a wheel route out of the backfield in the double coverage on number 12, Garcia. He had dragged them across the field, creating this huge vacuum up the sideline.
So here's 2nd and 14. Hauser from the shotgun again, looking to pass. He's got all kinds of time, and now he'll be hit from behind, stays on his feet for a moment before being swarmed by a sea of red jerseys and brought down for yet another loss. They go back another 2 yards, and it's 3rd and 16 back at the 37 of Norte Vista.
And that is the Norte Vista defense we've been looking for. They swarmed him that time. He had no place to go, no place to run, and just collapsed. The pocket collapsed on him.
So Paloma Valley looks to the sideline, gets the new play, new running back in the game. Looks like Elijah Orellana. We'll see if they go that way, but this is most definitely a passing down. 3rd and 16, there's an offsides, as jumping a bit early is Christian Urado.
So here we go with the discipline. They have a chance to really put a dent into Paloma Valley's drive, and somebody jumps off sides out of the excitement of making a play.
Well, the Ken Sporting Goods must-see game via Inland Sports is Rancho Cucamonga versus Roosevelt tomorrow night. Going to be a good one. They set up a screen pass, and they dump it off underneath to Jamison Picardo. Picks up a good chunk of yardage down to the 25-yard line. So it'll be 4th and 6 as they spot it back at the 27.
They ran a screen play to kind of pull the edge off of Norte Vista's defensive line's penetration. Good play, but a nice play by the corner who rolled up to make the tackle.
Hard count from Paloma Valley. Norte Vista stays disciplined, and so the Wildcats will call time. And we'll see what they do here.
Now,
it's all fun and games to do the hard count and call the timeout in the first half. But in the second half, you got to think maybe you'd like to have those timeouts in the last 2 minutes of the game if it comes to that.
Absolutely, especially in a game like this, a 7-7 game. And I would say it might not be too much to say. This is the biggest possession, defensive possession in Norte Vista's game right now. They need to stop here to stop the momentum that Paloma Valley had established on the last possession of the first half. Need we say this is the biggest defensive possession of their season?
To date, it is the biggest defensive possession of their season. Well, Ken Sporting Goods in Norco has been serving the Inland Empire since 1976. You can visit Ken Sporting Goods for your team uniforms and all your sports gear. Here's a 4th and 6. They're going to send the offense right back out there. Hauser in the shotgun with a running back to his left. 2 receivers out wide to his left. Ball in the near hash. Snap, throw is a quick one towards the sideline, and it's out of the reach of his intended target. It'll be a turnover on down. Give the ball right back to Norte Vista on a pass that was looking to go to Joe Cherry. It's incomplete, and it's 1st and 10 from their own 27 for Norte Vista.
Overall on that possession, I thought Norte Vista's defense did a nice job, except for that one play where they lost the back out of the backfield. And that's something that happens in the first game of the season, too. Blown coverages, blown possessions that way. It's a 4-minute drive by Paloma Valley.
Here's 1st and 10, and it's a quick whistle on the first snap of this drive, which begins at 8:01 to play in the 3rd quarter. In a 7-7 ball game, the penalty will go against Paloma Valley. Looks like some early movement. 5-yard penalty brings up 1st and 5 for Novi. And now they'll stop the clock just for a moment to make sure everybody's set. And we're underway again. Gonzalez under center. Flips it back to Elaine, who runs up the middle, still churning the legs. Then he tries to bounce it outside, and he is wrestled to the ground. But he had already picked up the 1st down on forward progress. They will spot him at his own 39, which brings up a fresh set of downs for Novi.
And you got to think a comfort level for Norte Vista's team is this tight set. When they need to get things going and get the momentum back, I've seen them do this time after time to get right into that tight set.
Pitch to Elaine again. He spins out of one tackle. The ball's on the ground. There's a scramble for it. It looked like Elaine initially fell right back on top of it. But you talked about him being a very tall runner. Paloma Valley signaling that it's theirs. They come away with the football, and the Whitecap agrees with them. There's the first turnover of this ball game. Paloma Valley comes up with a big fumble recovery.
And now you could say the first turnover of the season that we've seen because that the first turnover we've had in the first game of the year. But with a running team like this, you got to be tight with the ball. He's taking hits from all different sides and a lot of hats on the ball, and Paloma did a nice job with that.
So from the Norte Vista 46, Paloma Valley will go to work. 7:32 on the clock in a tie game. Ken Batdorf on the sideline has gathered his offense and is giving them what we like to call a stern talking to. 1st and 10. They're going to pass right off the turnover. Hauser rolls to buy himself extra time. Now he's in deep trouble, and he's brought down back across the 50. Norte Vista's defense has answered the call. Paloma Valley, after the turnover, wanted to come out firing, and once again, you kind of see the inexperience of Hauser there. Maybe throw the ball away, tuck it and go. He tried to keep the play alive and was just gobbled up by a very good front 7 for Norte Vista.
I think he's locking in on one receiver, and he was trying to wait for him to bust free, but that was a coverage sack. Great job.
And now he's brought down again. Hauser on the shotgun snap was quick to throw, and this time it's another sack for Novi, and it goes to Oscar Godoy.
Now we're seeing that Norte Vista defense we had talked about. Maybe they got a little complacent with the drive. Maybe they got a little stiff on the sidelines because they were on the sidelines for all but 5 minutes of that first half.
3rd and 17 for Paloma Valley from their own 48-yard line. Got to get to the Novi 36 for a 1st down. Hauser will drop back, taking his time. He's in trouble. He steps up. He fires over the middle. Got a wide open man who makes the catch on one knee. Enough distance for the 1st down as they spot it right at the 35. He went to Garcia, and he found him all alone in the middle of the field. They want to go quickly and snap again. Hauser sets up, moves the running back over to his right. Ball spotted in the middle of the field. He hands off. It's Orellana, who is swamped in the backfield and brought down for a loss of 1 as Norte Vista's defense has been getting penetration on almost every play of this drive.
On passing plays, they've really got to locate number 12. They've got to mark him. He's his 5th catch of the 7 passes that have been completed by Hauser. 5 of them have been to number 12.
Here's 2nd and 12 for Paloma Valley. Hauser will roll out. He jets wide. He's in deep trouble again. He's going to try to throw it at the last moment, but it's too late. He's sacked one more time. That's Oscar Godoy again, who gets there first for Norte Vista.
That was a huge 15-yard sack. And again, we talk about the inexperience of Hauser. He's got to chuck that ball out of there. He's got to throw it out, get it to the sideline, something. But I don't know if he'd had time to do that, the way Norte Vista's defense was on him.
Emmanuel Rubio in on the play as well. This is 2nd and 20 from the 45. Snap over the head of Hauser. He scoops it up and will try to run. He's back at his own 40, where he's brought down by Norte Vista. And again, moving backwards for Paloma Valley. This is 4th down and a long way to go. Here comes the punting unit.
I have them for minus 41 yards in sacks on these last possession.
This is 4th and 35. Prime punting opportunity. Nobody back for Novi, per usual. They just don't see any point in returning the punts at this level of football. That one will roll down to the 22-yard line before it's scooped up. 4:22 on the clock in the 3rd quarter. I'm Colin Holt. That's Tim Hatch. This is Inland Sports Internet Radio.
That was an impressive possession by the Norte Vista defense. Even though it was a 3-minute drive, they gave up the 120-yard pass. Every other play besides that was a negative play. They were attacking like piranhas, attacking a fresh piece of pork chop put into the water.
So it's 1st and 10 from the own 23. Danny Gonzalez jogs out there. Norte Vista, after an offensive miscue, will look to go back to work. 7-7 is the score in the 3rd quarter.
They'll be back to their tight set, comfort level.
From the far hash, it's Eddie Elaine running up the middle. He breaks free from a couple of tackles. That's a pickup of about 8 on 1st down, as they will spot it up to the 31-yard line of Norte Vista. And it will be 2nd and 2, player down on the far side. Well, the action continues in week 0 tomorrow night on a Friday evening. Palm Desert will go to Beaumont, and that one will be live on 1490 AM. KMET. Rialto will face Orange Vista. Our good friends at Teen Vision TV 16 will have that one for you. Hillcrest will take on Arlington on Riverside TV. Our good friend Jeff Gorham will have the call for you. And of course, if you just want the best of everything, you can watch Sports Weekly Live starting at 11 p.m. tomorrow night. You can go out and see the game of the week, or the must-see game of the week, that is, presented by Ken's. You can come home and you can see what happened everywhere else on Sports Weekly Live, as we just took a look at the Boost broadcast schedule right here on the Inland Sports YouTube channel and Inland Sports Twitter.
Can you imagine how deep in his chest Coach Batdorf's heart just leapt by seeing Eddie Lane, number 1, crumpled on the sideline?
But you got to remember that Norte Vista has got a plethora of good running backs as well. 3 to be exact. Joseph Lucky is in the mix as they flip this one back for 1st down yardage on a carry by what looks like Jesus Gonzalez, who is the 3rd in a trio of good running backs for Novi.
So are you a fan of the Godzilla movies?
I have seen one of them.
There's Ghidra, the 3-headed monster. So we have a Ghidra team here.
I think that's a good way to put it.
Thank you.
This will be 2nd and 10. That carry for no gain. Looking for Eddie Elaine on the sideline. He is up and walking around. The helmet is still on, so that's a good sign for Novi fans.
And I'm going to say that Norte Vista has not had a negative running play this whole game.
I would venture to agree with that as well. Bouncing off tackle to the near sideline. Here goes Gonzalez. He'll get deep into Paloma Valley territory. Spotted out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Jesus Gonzalez with a good run. Boy, you love to see that. Hit the hole, bounce outside. Classic football, classic running game, classic Batdorf.
Absolutely, and his whole idea is to have more hats at the hole than the defense, and that's why they call it the house. So he sends the house into the hole, and then it's up to the back to make the read and pop it.
1st and 10 from the Paloma Valley 33. Looks like an issue with the clock. They'll stop it for a moment. Now they're ready to go. And now they stop again. Check the scoreboard. It says 3:01. They'll say that's correct. 7-7 we're tied. Norte Vista on the move. 1st and 10. They hand it off quickly to the fullback, who is still on his feet, carrying people. out near the first down marker. We'll see if it's enough to move the chains. That was a good give to the big man, Roberto Rodriguez, and he picks up the first down as they put it down to the 23-yard line. First and 10 for Norte Vista there.
Can you imagine you're a defensive lineman just getting pounded. Then you got these quick running backs stepping to the outside, and here comes a 200-pounder right in your gut. That was a great run.
First and 10. Looks like just a cramp for Eddie Elaine. He's getting rolled out on the sideline. They're going to pitch it back to Jesus Gonzalez. Stays on his feet near the sideline. He's pushed out of bounds. A pickup of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 as the ball moves down to the 18-yard line here in the third.
Jesus Gonzalez has been a great number 2 option for Norte Vista today. Going into halftime, we had him for about 40 yards, averaging 6 yards a carry, and now this half alone, he's got about 45 yards. So he's going to go over 100 himself.
2nd and 5 from the 18-yard line for Novi. They'll make some substitutions.
And how's that for a substitution? Eddie Elaine back in the game.
That was quick. He dots the I in this tight formation. Ball on the near hash for 2nd and 5. They gave it to the fullback again. Rodriguez plows his way near the first down stick, and it's enough for a fresh set of downs once again.
So now let's see if the talk Coach Battorf had the guys at halftime stuck in their brains, because we'll see if we have any mistakes or discipline issues right now.
In the red zone, which is where they've made most of their thoughtless mistakes. From the 13. Elaine gets it. He bounces off of one defender and is brought down after getting inside the 10-yard line. They spot the ball at the 18. Elaine starting to get back to his normal workload here. Sets up 2nd and 6.
Now, we mentioned this before about the time thing, but I think the way it affects the Paloma team, their defense has to be tired. They've just been getting pounded and just a constant effort. Just the ball being rushed right down their throats. They've got to be getting tired.
Here comes 2nd and 6, bouncing it towards the pylon and reaching before being cut down just short of the goal line is Elaine. They'll spot him at the 2. And it should be 1st and goal from there. And it is. Bring the fullback into the game once again. It's Rodriguez. 1st and goal from the 2. Elaine dots the I. They'll flip it back to him. Has a little trouble at the line of scrimmage, but he works his way sideways, finds a seam, and gets pay dirt. 13-7 on the touchdown run by Eddie Elaine. 2 yards for the touchdown.
Nice 4-minute drive. Nice reestablishment of some control there for Norte Vista. Eddie's starting to establish his missability. Missability factor of 10 right there.
I was wondering how long it was going to take until we heard the word missability on the Inland Sports Internet Radio. The extra point is good. It is 14-7. Norte Vista with 15 seconds to play in the third. Missability factor of 10. Touchdown factor of 2 for Eddie Elaine.
Absolutely. Now, let's take a look at what happened there just now. Their defense, Norte Vista's defense, changed the whole momentum of the game. Paloma Valley had hit a comfort zone. I really felt like Hauser was really relaxed, and he was establishing the offense, especially with his camaraderie set up with Jared Garcia and his connection there. But all of a sudden, Norte Vista just pounded them, and they had 5 plays of negative yardage on that last possession.
Norte Vista will kick off right to left. 15 ticks left in the third quarter. Ball will be placed on the near hash. 1 man deep for Paloma Valley. Neither team has done anything other than pooch kick so far in this game. And there's another one. Goes to the far side of the field. It is muffed initially, but covered up by Paloma Valley. They will take over at what looks like their own 43-yard line.
So now if you're Paloma Valley, you got to get back to what had them moving, and that was passing the ball, looking for number 12, Jared Garcia, and get the momentum going again. They were moving the ball pretty well, ran a screen play, ran a bubble route for, wheel route for a back out of the backfield. That was effective because they were keen on number 12. Let's see if they can get back to it.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 43. The snap to Hauser, the throw to the far sideline, finds Garcia right there. It's a pickup of about 6.
Now, again, you're Norte Vista. You better put somebody up there on him, at least bump him off the line. Earlier when they double-teamed is when they took advantage with that wheel route out of the backfield. But he's still obviously keying. The quarterback is just eyeballing number 12 the whole time.
2nd and 4 from the far hash. Hauser takes the snap, play action, feels pressure, steps up, fires, and finds a man over the middle. Down to the 30-yard line and beyond for Novi as the quarter comes to a close. That pass completed to number 10, Anthony Stucker. And so we'll flip sides. Norte Vista will be defending the other end zone.
Norte Vista now to compensate for Norte Vista's drive and their defensive line attacking. They've gone to some quick passes, some quick outs, and to take the pressure off Hauser. And he's stepped up. He's done a nice job.
So Paloma Valley will go right to left now across your radio dial here on Inland Sports Radio, which is brought to you by Boost Performance Training in Corona with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports go to Boost Performance Training. Ask about their private lessons.
So unofficially, I have Hauser 6 for 7 for 61 for about 130 yards. And 6 for 7, 4 of those passes have been completed to number 12.
1st and 10 from the Norte Vista 27. Paloma Valley will go to work from the near hash. Hauser with a running back to his right. 2 receivers split out to the wide side, 1 to the near side. Hauser looks to his right, tries to find the back out of the backfield, and cannot connect with Mendoza. Brings up 2nd and 10.
And again, trying to throw that quick route to the back out of the backfield, trying to alleviate the pressure that Norte Vista is bringing. Did you just say we started the 4th quarter?
We started the 4th quarter. We are here in quarter number 4. My, how time flies when you're having fun and throwing the ball. Here's a pass to the flats that finds Cody Sarasaro. Picks up a couple of yards. Down to the 24. Into the 4th quarter we go. Norte Vista up 14-7. Paloma Valley driving as they look to answer.
Now let's see if they can keep that pressure up on him and squeeze those early routes and force him and step up in the pocket like they did earlier.
Hauser back to pass. A diving attempt by Sarasaro on the far side. Player down behind the play for Paloma Valley. They will sub him off.
And you saw the inexperience there on that play. Hauser had the receiver, and he rushed it. He just rushed it before the guy finished his break, and he threw the ball out. It was a pass that definitely should have been completed.
So Eric Davis on the far side. Garcia and Sarasaro near side. Norte Vista looked like they jumped early, no flag. They're going to chase down Hauser from behind. The ball is loose. It's scooped near sideline. Running with it. Still running with it. Emmanuel Rubio's going to go. Touchdown, Novi.
Wow. What a turn of events. Hauser running for his life. And again, I want to say it for the 3rd time we brought it up. We're under pressure. He could have threw the ball away. He could have threw it out of bounds. He could have even taken a grounding penalty. But he got hit. He lost it. There's no penalty on the play. The ball bounced right up into his hands. And a great run for a touchdown. something that he will remember forever.
Defensive touchdown for Novi when Paloma Valley looked like they were on track to tie this game up. They have not put the points on the board, and I wonder if they called a block in the back.
Or if he stepped out of bounds.
And it is going to be a penalty on Norte Vista.
Really?
A personal foul. It is just 14-7. Novi will get the ball as the penalty occurred after the fumble recovery. They spot the ball at the place where the foul took place. It is 1st and 10 now from the 26-yard line. Ken Batdorf cannot believe it. He wants an explanation, and now he will call time.
Now, talk about a penalty that's going to hurt you. They had a touchdown, and there was nobody within 15 yards of the play. So, again, a lack of discipline on somebody wanting to make a play, and you can't fault them for wanting to make the play, but let's use an intelligence factor here, an intelligent quotient, if you will, that you got to let that go. And if the guy catches the guy from behind, he catches him from behind.
Well, Batdorf said he wanted his juniors to play like seniors. And I think there's going to be a little bit of polishing going on this week in practice as they head towards week 1.
Especially on these red zone penalties. Would you consider that a red zone penalty?
Absolutely.
It was a breakaway penalty.
Absolutely. Just once again, a silly mistake and a thoughtless penalty, and it happens in week 0. Question is, how do you respond? Elaine gets the ball, finds a little bit of space near his side, cuts upfield, gets down towards the 15-yard line. They'll put it at the 15, which is good enough for a first down. When the question was, how do you respond? How about Eddie Elaine with a first down run on first down?
And again, I got to think that in the huddle, that's a calming factor. That you can be all riled up, and then like, we're making this mistake, that mistake. He's like, give me the ball. And there you go. And there they go again, the comfort zone, tight set.
Give it to Elaine. Near side, lowers the shoulder, but is still brought out of bounds. Good tackle made by Joe Cherry. And it's a gain of a couple. And now Eddie Elaine once again. A bit gimpy as he comes up. This will be 2nd and 5, or 2nd and 6 that is, as they put it at the 12.
Well, Paloma Valley's defense has to make a stand here. With the clock running, 10 minutes to go. Although they've shown an ability to quick strike.
This time they'll give it to the back, number 2, Jesus Gonzalez. Charges up the middle. First down, yardage to the 5. So 1st and goal from the 5-yard line.
And again, what a great number 2 option. On a lot of teams, number 21, Jesus Gonzalez, a 5'10", 190-pound junior, would be the number 1 option, but he's still getting plenty of carries today.
Gonzalez dots the I as Danny Gonzalez gets under center for the snap. They give it to Jesus. He is stood up initially, tries to step right, and lunges forward for a few extra yards down to the 1-yard line. Good second effort from Jesus Gonzalez. 2nd and goal from the 1. They break the huddle. From the near hash, Danny Gonzalez under center. Jesus Gonzalez behind him. They'll give it to the fullback instead, and Rodriguez just manhandles his way into the end zone. And there is the 3rd touchdown of the ball game for Norte Vista.
Now, Roberto Rodriguez at 5'9", 200 is he's like a fire plug. He's like trying to tackle a fire plug. He's so low to the ground, and he gets the ball, and he gets lower to the ground, and his leverage is incredible. As a tackler, there's no way to get underneath that.
So Rodriguez punches it in. from 1 yard out. The extra point counts, and it's 21-7 Norte Vista with 8:59 to play.
So at this point, I got Rodriguez on hatch yards at about 92 yards. We have Elaine at 146 going into the half. And I'll calculate him in a minute because it's going to take me a minute. But again, Ghidra, the three-headed monster of Godzilla fame. The defensive linemen of Paloma Valley have just got to be, they watch film, they got their scheme set up, but in reality, you can't practice against this. The speed and the agility of these guys, then you got the power of the fire plug coming at you.
Kickoff from the far hash. Norte Vista's offense utilizing all kinds of weapons. Novi will kick off left to right. Paloma Valley again, one deep return man. Just inside of 9 minutes to play. It's only 8:42, Hatch. You might make your bedtime.
I just might. My wife's picking up some Sonic for me on the way home.
There we go. Caught at the 20 on the far side of the field. The return comes out to the 30-yard line, and the Wildcats offense takes over once again.
So here we go. The defense of Norte Vista. I'll just say Novi because I know I don't pronounce Norte Vista the right way. Novi is got to be ready to go. They're excited. Look at them. They're hopping around out there because they made that big play, got the fumble return on the last one. Now the offense has scored. They're rested, ready to go. 10 rested, ready to go, like Richard Nixon said on his last tour.
There it is. 1st and 10. Presidential. They line up. Ready to go. 2 to the near side. They're going to throw it out there. They find this Saraso. He cuts it back inside. Crosses the 40. And it's a first down for Paloma Valley to the 41-yard line. They line up quickly. Hauser back in the shotgun. Looks towards Garcia near side. Makes the catch. Turns upfield. Gets near the 50. To the 49-yard line, where he'll be just a yard shy of the first down.
And you watch a team like this, Paloma Valley is really good at this 2-minute drill. And you'd think, why don't they run the hurry up more often?
Hauser is ready, back to pass, he's in trouble. Runs into one of his offensive linemen, now he tucks it and sneaks up the near sideline, close to a first down. We'll see if they give it to him. And they do. 1st and 10. Now from the Norte Vista 49. They want to go quickly. Hauser lined up. Giving out hand signals. He gives the ball off. There's a big hole up the middle. Lowering his shoulder and picking up 6 or 7 yards on the carry for Paloma Valley. Brings up 2nd and manageable for the Wildcats on a good run by Orellana.
Oriana kept driving on that like my sister drives on the hometown buffet breakfast bar.
So Oriana, 2nd and short. Hauser fires one out to Garcia after the play fake to Oriana. It's good enough for a first down to the 36-yard line. The metaphors, the similes, they just don't stop with you, Tim, do they? 1st and 10. Oriana the carry. He's got room to the far side, cuts it out, spins away from a couple of tackles. He's near first down distance, and he's going to be about a yard shy. Pickup of 9 on first down. Clock goes down to 7:26, moving the ball quickly here.
And they've got Norte Vista on their heels right now because they're just attacking quick, short passes, quick routes.
Hauser lobbed one to the far side. Looked like he was trying to get it to Eric Davis. And it was in and out of his hands. Still 3rd and 1.
Have you ever seen my sister-in-law at Hometown Buffet Breakfast Bar?
I have not, but I imagine it looks an awful lot like Elijah Oriana running the football.
That's right.
There's a first down carry. Moves him down inside the 25-yard line. That was a carry by Johnny Mendoza. 1st and 10, Hauser will throw. He's got all kinds of time. Looking for somebody, it's tipped. And a diving attempt from Norte Vista's Anthony Jamal is unsuccessful as the ball lands in. They were looking to get it there to Jared Garcia. He just couldn't hang on.
Garcia's been very impressive today, running his routes and sitting down in seams. And when they got man coverage on him, when they're pressed man, he's blowing by defensive backs.
Here's the snap to Hauser. Gonna give it off to Mendoza. A couple of jukes and a couple of yards picked up. 3rd and manageable from the 20. 3rd and 6, that is. Hauser gives it off all by himself up the middle. There goes Elijah Oriana. And Paloma Valley's right back in this one. 21-13.
Impressive drive. They got the ball with 8:52 on the clock. That was a textbook 2-minute drill running offense right there.
And you got to know Norte Vista is going to come out and just sit on the ball as much as possible. Here comes Joel Reyes on for the extra point. 6:34 on the clock. Motion a man across on the extra point. Looks like someone was just out of position. So no funny business as Reyes puts it right down the middle. It is 21-14. Norte Vista will get the ball back with 6:34. We've seen drives last a lot longer than that for the Braves.
Absolutely. And you see what Paloma Valley's doing is they're running their corners, and on the quick pitch on the house, when they have the tight sets, they're trying to catch the play from behind. But Eddie Lane and Jesus Rodriguez Jesus Gonzalez are just too fast to the hole. So we'll see what they can come up with to stuff up the hole on these. But this might be time where they run some play action and surprise us with something over the top here.
The aerial circus
that we were promised.
The stage is set. Just waiting for Ken Batdorf to pull the trigger.
The spotlight is there. When will the fat lady sing?
It's
not
question.
meaning Ken Batdorf's the fat lady. I didn't mean it.
Mike's Fitness Equipment in Riverside. Visit their new location for 115 West Lacadena Drive. You can get all of the leaders in gym equipment for your home, school, or work at Mike's Fitness Equipment.
Do you think we're going to see a pooch kick here?
I would not be shocked. And this kick will go all of 30 yards. Drops in front of the 20. It is fielded, and a big hit on the far sideline. Doesn't do much for Novi as they return the ball out to the 25, but it fires up the Braves sideline. 1st and 10 as they go to work with 6:24 on the clock and a 7-point lead.
Now, you heard the crowd react to that, and you heard the sideline react to that. It was a great hit on an unsuspecting defender. Kickoff team, the guy ran the sideline, was laying in the weeds and just destroyed the defender. Here we go, tight set, comfort zone.
Pitch back to Elaine. He's going to look for green space on the near sideline. He finds some. Good enough for a first down as he brings the ball out to the 37 of Norte Vista. Well, JoJo's Grill-A Dog in Redlands. Not all dogs are created equal. You can taste the difference at JoJo's Grill-A Dog in the Mountain Grove Shopping Center.
I love hot dogs, by the way. I'm a hot dog connoisseur.
Well, have you been to JoJo's?
No, I'm going to make a trip out there.
Well, you're going to go soon.
Absolutely.
1st and 10 from the 37. Elaine under center. Gives it to the fullback. Rodriguez with room to run. He runs over one man and moves the pile out across the 50. First down, Norte Vista. It's into enemy territory at the 48 of Paloma Valley. So Norte Vista keeping the clock running down to 5:50.
Now, if you're Norte Vista, you almost don't want to score too quick the way they're moving the ball right now.
Well, we know Paloma Valley can score quickly back the other way. Norte Vista ideally would just run as much time off the clock as possible. This one to the near side. Elaine hurdles one man and is tackled by the second.
And with that run on Hatch yards, unofficial count, he goes over 200 yards.
It's a pickup of 6.
With only one shoe on.
A very impressive evening for Eddie Elaine. Got to put the second cleat on. but it will be 2nd and 5. They spot the ball back closer to the 44 of Paloma Valley. Next week, we'll have a good one for you. Hemet and Vista del Lago. Here's the 2nd and 5 snap. Pitch the ball back up the middle, first down and then some. Off and running is Gonzalez. Jesus Gonzalez gonna go all the way, touchdown.
And with that, Gonzalez goes over 100 yards.
Elaine reaches 200, Gonzalez reaches 100, and the Norte Vista Braves reach 27 points.
I have Gonzalez unofficially at about 137, and Eddie Elaine right at 200.
What a run. 44 yards for the touchdown. Extra point, the cherry on top, 28-14 with 4:33 to play. Paloma Valley going to have to go quickly and likely force some sort of turnover, whether it be via onside kick or something else.
Now Paloma with that 2-minute offense, that last drive, their most impressive drive of the day. But Hauser's starting to really sit on those routes and look at number 12 and stare him down. Jared Garcia, who does a great job. But you got to think, Novi's got some good athletes back there, and they might sit on his eyes there and just go for a pick on that. And again, there you hear the voice, the legend, the man, the myth, Tim Hively, calling for everybody to stand up for the kickoff, as he has done for many, many years and decades.
From the 40, from the far hash, Norte Vista will kick it away. Paloma Valley with just 4.5 minutes to work with. Deep kickoff, bounces inbounds and dies at the goal line, where it is picked up by Paloma Valley and being brought down inside of the 5 is the Paloma Valley return man, Tyler Orta.
Huge mistake.
You have to field that ball if you're Paloma Valley. And when they saw that it wasn't going to go into the end zone, then they decided to field it. It was much too late at that point. And they will start at their own 2-yard line, trailing by a pair of touchdowns with 4:26 to play.
And that was so close to a safety. And they just assumed, the deep end assumed the other one would get it or that it would roll into the end zone. And you know what happens when you assume, Colin?
Nothing good can happen when you assume.
You make an ass of you and me.
I like that.
Thank you.
Where did you learn that?
From my grandmother.
First and 10 from their own 2. Hauser will air it out, and it's to no man's land, out of bounds. 2nd and 10 on the 1.
And again, staring at his receiver, staring him down.
And much better coverage that time. Just like you said, Hatch, you're starting to see the Novi defensive backfield sit on what Hauser is staring at.
And as a young quarterback who's shown some headiness here. He's shown some moxie, some grit, some sand, as they used to say back in the days.
Hauser, quick pass. It's tipped in the air, and it finds the grass. Boy, that was dangerous. 3rd and 10 now from their own 2 for Paloma Valley.
That was a pretty athletic play just to keep that alive. They were running a kind of a bubble screen action there, wide receiver screen, and the snap was off to his left, and he was like a third baseman fielding a shot at the hot corner, dove to his left, caught it, and then luckily didn't get intercepted.
4:19. Ball on the far hash. Inside his own end zone, Hauser barking out orders. Gets the snap, looks quickly, fires quickly, and completes it. Gets the ball out near the 6-yard line and out of bounds to stop the clock, but he was pushed out, which means the clock continues to run. 4:10.
Now,
4th and 5. Here comes the punting unit.
You have to punt this out. Even with 4 minutes left, there's not much you can do with this. You can't go for 4th down, if you do it here. As you hear the local speedway action go by. That was car number 12 in the lead as it rounded the curve. They have to punt this.
4th and 5. Norte Vista sideline trying to get the crowd engaged again. They lead by 2 touchdowns. Punt is lifted in the air. It will drop in at the 45 and continue to roll back. Paloma Valley downs it at the Norte Vista 38.
That's a 60-yard punt, net yards.
Not too shabby.
So that race car we just heard was either that race going on there or Jeff Gorham heading home, trying to make it home to grab some dinner.
3:21 to play. I assume Sonic is not waiting for him.
No, Sonic is waiting for me.
Just Hatch.
And I don't mean the hedgehog.
Not the hedgecock.
No.
Here's Eddie Elaine. He's got a little running room. Now he starts to cut towards the left sideline, and he's chopped down over near the 45. So it brings up 2nd and 4. Excuse me, 2nd and 3. That's a pickup of 7.
But as we start to wind down, I don't want to make any assumptions because I don't want to assume, because I don't want to make an ass of you or me. But as things wind down, we can look back and say both teams learned a lot today about themselves, as you would want to out of a week 0 game.
Give it to the fullback, Rodriguez. No doubt first down. 48 of Paloma Valley's side of the field. It is 1st and 10.
And I'm going to put Norte Vista at unofficially almost 400 yards rushing, because you have Eddie Lane over 200. You have Rodriguez at 137, almost 140. And then you have, I'm sorry, I keep saying Rodriguez, Gonzalez. And then you have Rodriguez at near 40, 50 yards.
And that's over their average. They averaged about 350 last season. Eddie Elaine carries it. No gain on a first down play.
And that's pretty rare that we've said that today.
Inside of 2 minutes to play. 2nd and 10 from the Paloma Valley 48. Norte Vista trying to run this one into a week 0 victory. Second down. The carry out to the 45. As Novi leads by a pair of touchdowns, and Paloma Valley starting to see their opportunity slip away. 1:15 left on the clock in this one. 28-14 in favor of Norte Vista.
So as we were to look at each team, what would you say would be the player of the game for Norte Vista?
There's a lot of options,
Absolutely.
but it's hard not to give it to Eddie Elaine.
Over 200 yards, couple touchdowns rushing. Couple touchdowns rushing.
They give it to Elaine there, and a good tackle made in the backfield by Brett Hoke. Brings up 4th and 7. See what Norte Vista decides to do here, up by 14.
With 42 seconds to go, I got a feeling Norte Vista is going to run the ball. Or, depending on how many timeouts are left, is it take a knee time? Are we there?
I don't think it is. Paloma Valley, according to my estimation, should have 2 timeouts on the clock.
And quick little anecdote about when I was coaching football here at Norte Vista as a JV coach. We told our player to take a knee. And with 30 seconds left, he went into the huddle and told everybody to take a knee but himself. So the ball got snapped to him as a quarterback, and his line all took a knee. And the defense just leapt over and destroyed him.
That is stuff of legend, Tim Hatch.
Yes, yes. Hard lesson to learn as a young quarterback, to have everybody else not take a knee, and that you are the one to take a knee.
4th and 7. We'll send the offense out there. They're at the 45 of Paloma Valley. 42 seconds to play. This could ice it if they can get these 7 yards. They fake it to Elaine. It's a quarterback keeper. There goes Gonzalez up the far sideline. 20, 10, 5. He's tripped up from behind and goes down, and that almost works out better for Novi.
What a great play call.
Executed to perfection as well.
Yes.
Danny Gonzalez just about seals the deal for Novi. Clock running inside of 30 seconds. It's 28-14.
Defense keying on the backs. They're watching that pitch, play after play after play after play. They key on the pitch, fake the pitch, run it the opposite way, naked reverse. Great play. And that is the aerial circus we've been waiting for.
Flags flying everywhere. Looks like an illegal substitution. I think they had 12 guys in the huddle. Shouldn't make too much of a difference. 11 seconds left. 14-point lead for Novi. They're likely going to ice this one and go undefeated so far on the season.
That one-game winning streak looks great on the record.
And they had a real tough playoff loss.
Yes. Yeah, 23-20 to Brea Linda.
As the horn sounds, they don't even have to snap the ball. That was a back-and-forth game. I was there. They've come all the way back after a long off season. Some fresh faces. They had a young team last year that's only a little yet less young now, and they get a big win over a team that is 6 divisions ahead of them here in week 0.
It's an impressive win. They said I'm going to say they compiled over 400 yards rushing, and they took some shots from Paloma. They had a couple moments where they were on their heels, but they bounced back. They went to that comfort zone, that tight set, and they ran the ball right down their throats like they typically do. A great win for Norte Vista, and Coach Bator's team this year is going to be a team to be reckoned with in the River Valley League. Now let's flip to the other side, Paloma Valley, young team. I thought that young Blake Hauser showed some moxie. Back in the day, we'd say that he had some sand, that he took some shots. He led them back to the brink of tying it, and he did tie it in the first half, but did a good job.
Well, the final score, 28 for Norte Vista, 14 for Paloma Valley. The Novi Braves pretty much have their way on offense, and the defense comes on strong in the second half to seal the deal for the Braves. They're fired up about that one as they turn their attention now to a home matchup against Sultana next week, as Paloma Valley will return home as well with an 0-1 record to face Murrieta Valley. So Ken Batdorf gets a win in Game 1 of Season 26. Don't forget today's game on Inland Sports, brought to you by Stan, the Policy Man Hopkins. You can call him at 951-880-8998 or email him at dhopkins@loomis4insurance.com. That's dhopkins@loomis4insurance.com. With Loomis Insurance Services, he does home, auto, business, workers' comp, restaurants, and so much more. That's Stan, the Policy Man Hopkins. This has been high school football on a Thursday evening here on the Inland Sports YouTube channel as well as Inland Sports Twitter. The guy over there is Tim Hatch. I'm Colin Holtz. In a week or so, maybe you'll see us wearing bright orange polos, but we will always be here for you, including next week's Hemet and Vista Del Lago matchup. Same bat time, same bat channel. Norte Vista wins 28-14, and we will talk to you next time.